The kind of man that married my daughter, Osinachi. He is from Anambra. He is from Upo, Newi. What I saw in that man, I didn't know those things exist in this world. Since he came to my home and married Osinachi Nwachukwu, since he got married to her, my daughter never had peace. I never had peace. He took her like a slave. He never valued her. He treats her however he likes. To the extent, after my child married him, before I set my eyes on her, it took 8 years before I set my eyes on her. After she got married, when she gave birth, her husband didn't tell me that she gave birth. It was other people that told me that she gave birth. The people that knew her before she got married informed me that my daughter gave birth. I called my daughter and asked her. She said it's true that she gave birth. I called the husband. The husband said I should not disturb him. The way he wants is what he would do. I then asked him, the way you want is how you will do with my daughter that I carried 9 months in my womb? Did you say the way you want is how you will do? It was very bad. It's not good. I asked him because when he was coming to my home that he is a pastor. I then welcomed him. But when he started behaving like this, I asked him, was it not you that said you're a pastor? He said, and so what? When he made this statement, I said to him, what I saw in the beginning is not what I'm seeing now. He said he doesn't owe me, that he has married my child. I told him I will come and take care of the newborn. He said he doesn't want to see me, that I should not come to take care of his newborn. After he made this statement, I kept quiet. I called my daughter, that's Osinachi. I told her that I want to come and take care of her. My daughter said, what did my husband say? I told her that he said he doesn't want to see me. She said, please, I should forget about coming. I kept quiet. People keep telling me, my daughter doesn't tell me what she has been passing through. It was people that was telling me my child was passing through a lot when she gave birth to her first child. He kept maltreating her until she got pregnant for the second child. One of our neighbors at number 74 Nike Road, her peer group then called us that if we know what we can do about Osinachi, we should do it. I then called Osinachi. When I called her, I asked her, how is your relationship with your husband? She said, Mama, that is not what I supposed to ask her. That there is no trouble. Till she got pregnant again and gave birth. After she gave birth, she called me herself that I should come or she might die. Nobody's taking care of her and she's suffering. That what Peter is doing to her is too much. I looked up and looked down. She then called our daddy and told him that Peter said if she doesn't come back alive, she will come back dead. I called my first daughter and asked her to come, please, and come and help me to go and know how to bring back Osinachi. Which one is, if she doesn't come back alive, she will come back dead? After we were done discussing, my first daughter agreed that she will go. She prepared and went to Abuja. She got to Abuja and brought her home. Her newborn was 3 months. When she brought her home, and the first child was 2 years, they lived with us till a year and 3 months. He started visiting her. I opened my mouth and told him, since you said my daughter, if she doesn't come back alive, she will come back dead. She won't go back to your house again and you won't be married. The marriage is over. OSINACHI opened her mouth. I will say the truth, and said to me, Mama, God says what he puts together, nobody should put asunder. That she will go back. I told her not to go back. It's better you marry another person. That she cannot divorce. After saying that, small time the husband came back and she followed him back to Abuja. He continued maltreating her like before. I don't know where they live in Abuja. Her first child I didn't visit. Second, I didn't visit. He doesn't like to see me and my family. If we are alive or dead, he doesn't know. My first son died. He didn't come for condolence visits. I kept quiet, looking unto my God. When I fell sick, OSINACHI went to Mommy Nechi, pleading, asking her to help her. One most important thing is to bring her mother so that she will take care of her mother because she's sick. The husband said her mother won't enter his house. Mommy Nechi then went to beg Peter. Peter then agreed that I should come. When I entered into Peter's house, I stayed in Peter's house for 1 year and he sent me and my son out of his house. We left his house with our belongings. Amarachi, my child, then called one woman, which is her twin sister, asking her to find a way and bring her mother. That Peter sent us out. She should bring her. If she knew where she can keep her, let her come. Data woman. The data woman then ran to us and took us to her house. I stayed there. I was going for treatment. I stayed there for 2 months before coming back to my house. Since then, my daughter got married to Peter. If marriage is like that, it would be better my child didn't get married. If Peter's kind of marriage is the definition of marriage. The worst part is that he said that my daughter, if she does not come back alive, she will come back dead. But today, it's dead that my daughter. It's dead that my daughter died. My daughter fell sick in January. Within short time, she got better. Then in February, she fell sick again and within short time, she got better. We tried to check the cause. She went for lab and every other thing that we tried. Nothing was discovered. Everywhere we went to, nothing was discovered. It was today that I heard with my ears that Peter said my daughter had cancer. But Peter told us himself that nothing was discovered. Even my daughter told us that nothing was discovered. I spoke with my daughter the day before yesterday. That was Wednesday. I discussed with her. We discussed and she told me, Mama, she is going. That she is having small headache, but she wants to go. What I saw was bigger than me, but it's left for God. He will judge what is hidden. Despite the fact that my daughter was suffering, traveling all around the world, making money, Peter is jobless. That one doesn't hurt me. But my daughter would happily do all these travels. He would still beat her up. He would still mock her. He would still do her undoable. My daughter kept enduring. I said to my daughter, "This man will kill you, like he said." She said that she has decided to marry him, that he will change. I told her that this kind of person, I don't think he will change. Then yesterday, I then reached OSINACHI. Two of us spoke on Wednesday. I called her, she picked up. After picking up, I asked her, "How are you?" She said, "Mama, I'm fine." And I told her, "You'll be fine always." I just started thanking God for setting my daughter free. This is what I was telling God. And I then called her. Told her that we will do a big Thanksgiving for what God has done. She said, "No problem." She said, "Mama, the nurse wants to check her up. She would call me back in the evening," because it was in the afternoon. In the evening, she didn't call me. So I called her. She didn't pick up. The next day, I called her. She didn't pick. I then called Amara. I asked her if her sister has called her. She said yes. I told her that she said she would call me, but she didn't call. What Peter did to my daughter, I can't explain it all. It's only God, the creator of heaven and earth, that knows all he did to my daughter. The day that he called me, that Peter called me around 8 p.m. But my daughter died in the morning. The people that informed me about my daughter's death are the one Igbo woman that is in good terms with her. Was the person that informed me about my daughter's death. She asked her to cook for her. After cooking, she carried it to her. When she got there, she found out OSINACHI is no more, that she is dead. This man called me around 8 p.m. But the day I heard OSINACHI is dead, I called him. He didn't pick. I called him so many times. He didn't pick his phone. Then by 8 p.m., he then called. He called with OSINACHI's number. I picked. I asked him, "How are they doing?" He said they are fine. I asked about the kids. I asked about OSINACHI. He said, OSINACHI is gone in the evening. I asked him, "You said OSINACHI is gone. To where?" He said she's dead. I shouted, "OSINACHI." I told him that so he did what he said. You said if she doesn't come back alive, she will come back dead. That God will judge this case. Her sister went to see her in her sick bed. He didn't allow her to enter the hospital. He chased her out. Her brother in Abuja. Whenever the brother goes to see her, he will chase him away. My child kept begging him to allow them to see their sister. "We are at this place," kept begging him. Since his kids are young, he should allow them to help. He said he did not ask us for help. He didn't tell us that he can't take care of them. He knows how best to take care of them. Truly speaking, it hurts me. But it doesn't hurt me much because God knows everything. He knows everything. Since it's somebody like me that he allows somebody like Peter Nwachukwu to come across, I say in everything, God should take the praise. 4 children that my daughter gave birth to. Since they gave birth to those kids, they don't know my place. They didn't bring them even one day, except the time that I had to come home by force, including their mother when they were two kids. If these children want to come to my house, he would say no, that there is no relationship between us and them.